So to begin the haircut, I will start sectioning the hair. So I'm gonna section both sides. It's a longer version of a crop top, and the hair will be styled forward. So I'll start the haircut setting my bottom guideline. If you have watched my previous videos, you would know that I like to section my haircuts into three different areas: the sides, back, the midsection, and the top hair. So to begin the sides and back, setting the bottom guideline with my magic clip, and then I'm gonna start setting my top guideline with a 1.5. I'm using an Oster Octane with a detachable blade here, but you can use a Wahl, you can use Andis, you can use any clipper you want. Just make sure that it is a 1.5 guard if you're following my system here. I like to do this always before I begin my fade. I set my bottom guideline and then I set my top guideline. There's no really priority in the order. You can set the top guideline first and then set the bottom guideline first. It really doesn't matter, it's really up to you. Also, when you're setting the top guideline, just remember to go up straight in the air, set a 90-degree angle. We want to keep the shape of the haircut as square as possible and keeping it symmetrical. After I set my my top and bottom guideline, it is now time to start cleaning out the bottom. It's a very straightforward process here. I'm just having my trimmer. You can use any trimmer here. I'm using a Babyliss FX. I'm just cleaning everything up, and then I'll go over with the foil shaver. I like to use a Braun Series 5. I like to set all my guidelines first, and then I'll begin erasing the lines. So here I am setting a guideline exactly in between the top and the bottom guideline, and I'm setting it with a half. I'll just open the lever. I am using my Wahl Sterling 4 and opening the lever. As you all know or should know, it is equals to a 0.5, a half. Or you can just throw on your half guard with the lever closed. It's the same thing. Once that's set, it is time to erase the lines. I like to fade from the bottom up. It is easier, especially for beginners. It is a process that I always recommend for beginners or people without much experience, because if you fade from the top down, most likely you will get lost, and it takes quite a bit of getting used to for you to not get lost. Fading from the bottom up, I am simply going to close my lever all the way, and I am going to flake out the bottom line. It is important that you have wrist control, or else you will start creating other lines and the fade won't come out smooth. So I'll flake out that little bottom line, and I'll start opening the lever as I move up and up. Remember, I only have about 3/4 of an inch, maybe half an inch, in order to the space to work in. So flake out the lines, and then what I like to do is I'll close the lever all the way, I'll flake out the bottom line, and then I'll open the lever halfway, and that usually does the trick. If for some reason the bottom line isn't coming off, you can just go back to your trimmers and use your trimmers to get rid of that line. Once the bottom line is erased, it's time to move up to the next line, which is the half line. The half line, you are going to get rid of it with a number 1 guard. I just want to make it clear that sometimes, and honestly more often than not, the number 1 guard will not get rid of that line completely. Sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. It really all depends on the client's head shape and the hair texture. If the number 1 guard does not remove the line completely, we do have a backup, and the backup is the half guard. The half guard will smooth everything out and make everything completely spotless. So I follow the process, of the fade, and then if for some reason some spots are not completely blended in, then I'll go back with the half guard. So You see me here with the half guard, and I am just kind of I'm looking for the dark spots. I'm looking at spots that may be a little dark, that I see a line. Once the fade is completed, which it is at this point, it's time to blend the midsection to the top. I like to do this especially on like really short haircuts with a clipper over comb technique. You can do a scissor over comb if you like, but honestly, it's a little bit more precise, especially when the hair is this short. The width of the teeth of that comb is equivalent to a 1.5. With that in mind, I know that I want to keep a squared shape, but I don't want to follow the head shape, otherwise it's going to start looking round. So I'll place the comb on the client's head, making sure that the comb is at a 90-degree angle, and then I'll start cutting the midsection. Now moving on to the top of the hair, I'm gonna cut it with the scissors. Well, not so obvious because a lot of people use it with cut it with the clippers these days, but I am using my shears to cut the top. Usually I'll begin the shear work on the front of the head, but this time I decided to just fix a little bit of the calic here. Keeping in mind of the direction in which the hair grows, I'm going to grab the hair and I'm gonna start blending that with the shears. Once that's completed, I'll just move on to the front of the head. Like I said, I'm doing like a long version of a crop top. The fringe area is not going to be as short as, you know, a crop top would be. So I am setting my guide. I'm cutting as much length as the client wants me to on the fringe area first, and then that will be my guide for the rest of the length of the hair. Once I cut the fringe area to the desired length, I'm going to wet the hair once again, and I'm going to make a like a partition in the middle of the head. It's about 3/4 of an inch wide. Now that is going to be the guideline for the rest of the hair. Now I'm gonna work my way from the front to the back. I'm going to dry the hair and add some texture to it. I don't like adding texture to wet hair, so that's why I'm drying the hair first. There is so many different ways that you can texturize the hair. There's many different techniques, there's many different methods to achieve the same end goal. My whole thing is time consumption and efficiency. Therefore, I like to use the techniques that gives me the best results in the fastest time. What I do for texturization, I'll take my texturizers, my texturizing shears, and they have about I think 13 or 14 teeth on it, which the gaps are pretty wide. The only thing that I have to keep in mind is if I cut the hair and I texturize it where I'm cutting it too close to the scalp, it's going to look like the hair is going to grow out looking like a porcupine, and the hair will look frizzy. The haircut is completely over, and now I'm moving on with the beard. The beard is going to be very simple. It is very, very, very straightforward, especially with a beard that is this short and this thick. So I'm going to fade in the sideburns, the cheek area, and the fading process on the beard is the exact same that I would do on the hair, just in reverse order. I'm fading from the bottom up, meaning from the shortest point to the longest point, and I'm going to do the same thing with the beard. I'm going to begin with the shortest point of the beard, which is a skin. I'm going to open the lever, set my guideline, and then I'll hit it with the number 1. That doesn't remove the line completely. I'll throw on the half guard, and that should be good to go. And then after that, all I got to do is shape it up and line them up with the razor. The one thing I like to do is before I hit it with the razor, I like to set my kind of like a guide call it a guideline, whatever you want to call it. I like to use my trimmers. I switch back and forth between my SlimLine Pros and my Babyliss trimmer because they are two different sizes, two different weights. Unfortunately, I forgot to record the after cut video, and I went straight to the photos. So I apologize for not showing the final product after all that, but I do have a photo of the final product. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. If you enjoyed this video, hit a thumbs up, share it with friends, and don't forget to check out these other similar haircut videos. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.